After such an amazing previous season, let's see what we can get done this autumn. Of course, we do have new mods, as is tradition at this point, so let's delve into what's new. And I have to thank everyone who continues to enjoy this series. It does mean a lot to me, and I just love that you are enjoying it so much, so let's get going. We expanded our ability to grow more types of ancient fruit. We have some cute dolls from the vanilla game Marriageable Candidate, more cooking in the form of culinary delight, a new set of fences for us to decorate our Grampleton orchard and farms in general. In regards to farming, we have the forage and grapes of Fernigal mod, so we have more things to find in the wild and the ability to make a beautiful vineyard later. A small addition to the teas we can make, and for animals, we can now milk sheep and have 6 new animal mods all by Silver Moon Chan. So let's start autumn. On day 1, Willie was waiting at the door for us, asking us to catch him a bonnethead, spiny dogfish, manta ray, goblin shark, and swordfish to make a particular recipe. And in the mail, the Fernigal Vintners Association informed us of the wines that we could now make. Celestine said that we could now buy geese from Marnie, and we learnt 23 new recipes after adding new mods. The dead crops were taken out, and we finally automated the small bee farm area for our honey collection. I do still want to make this a little bigger, but for now we just have so many things pulling us in so many directions. I'm sure we will get to it eventually. It was the first Monday sorting of the season, and we added pickled king parsnips into the magical crops chest. Mount Vapia's artifacts got the copper fibula, fossilized fern, and fragment of fossil 1. Vapia's minerals got 9 new ones, which I believe completes the collection of base minerals for Mount Vapia's. Moss was stored, 36 smoked fish were placed away, as well as 31 different types of pickled fish. An everlasting chrysanthemum and blue bonnet was shipped off for completion, with an assortment of fruit and vegetables added to turn into jams and pickles. And we were able to add amber, lapis, jade, dragon fruit, hardy kiwi, blueberries, and apple jam into storage, and so ended the first storage day of the season. In town, we talked to Evelyn about how our farm was going, followed by us sharing a drink of pumpkin spiced cider with Pierre. Being a new season, it was time to make new honey, buying a snapdragon, lavender, fairy rose, dahlia, freesia, geranium, purple coneflower, pink hollyhock, purple flame, and iris before stocking up on a whole load of crops for the season. We got all the crops planted down, including all of our rare seeds that we had been collecting. We added tea leaves into kegs, preserved jars and a dehydrator, got some matcha powder cooked for completion, and slept the first day of autumn away. On day 2, Rasmodius shared with us the fairy tea recipe, Evelyn the afternoon tea recipe, and Caroline gave us the matcha roll cake recipe. Exploring in the mountains, we got our first wild leaf and asked Robin to set up our first barn in Grampleton, as I envision having all of the void animals living out here together. We finally met the dwarf for the first time, buying the big stone chest recipe and getting our next rare crow. At the library, Gunther gave a book to Zinnia after thinking he recognized the gem on her necklace, and as we read through the journal, we found out it was actually her mother's. Zinnia had doubts that her mum ever wanted her, but we put those doubts aside, and she found her mission in life: to find the haven of color that her mother never managed to find. We picked up Biome Balance for the week, gave Emily a gift to get closer to marriage, buying from Pierre sea bean, paddle, and barrel cactus to plant over in Ginger Island. New forage was found at the beach from the Forage of Fernigal mod in the form of hornshell and spicy weed. We stocked up on bait and headed to Ginger Island. We got the cactus down here, and they will continue to produce for us for another source of income, and we shipped off the hornshell, spicy weed, and wild leaf for completion. Returning to the beach, we found white and blue coral, getting them shipped off afterwards. The bulk seed chest was upgraded, and the 3 cactus seeds we had bought were forever stored away. Our rare crow was set down, an amber helm was shipped with an amber fan added to forever storage. Our first silver large sheep milk got stored away, and we slept. Peppercorn were harvested as day 3 began. A silver large sheep milk was forever stored away, as well as some iridium wool. Fishing, we got our first skeletal tail, continuing to fish until we got half of the Biome Balance request completed. Today was also the Passerby Cemetery Market Palooza, and there is a lot of stuff that we can buy here. We bought 2 dodo eggs to incubate later, as well as the gaggle shroom shirt, cowboy boots, sneakers, rubber boots, work boots, which is a great item to have so early on in the challenge, as well as the combat boots. Clint had a few artifacts, so we bought them. Robin had new furniture. Nikolai had candy and honey, which we will buy next year. A number of new weapons were available, and Emily had a whole array of new clothes. We bought several new recipes while we were here, as well as cave flower, dark tuft, lureberry, bell pod, and fire pepper seeds, and to finish it off, a fruit pop shirt. The new items were all stored away. We cooked up a crystal float, heavy cream, and caramel before heading to bed on day 3. On day 4, we got iridium large sheep milk and gold extra large goat milk into forever storage, and having a spare sheep milk, we got it shipped off for completion. Clint broke a load of geodes for us getting us a mango sapling, which was very nice. We talked to Penny about why she became a teacher and donated the skeletal tail, getting us the next part of the sloth skeleton. Emily was having a fashion event at the mayor's house, and turning in some tickets here, we got a magic rock candy, stardock tea, and treasure chest. We bought the sweet gem parfait recipe from Krober's, maxed out Marlon's friendship, gave Gabrielle a coffee and Silly a strawberry. The bookseller provided us with the books for the turkey and quail recipes, and we also bought the Way of Wind 1 and price catalog before reading them all. And we also decided to buy another price catalog while we were here to get it forever stored away. We finished off the Buy on Balance request and bought all the 6 crops for winter mod recipes from Gus. Andy got a beer, Bream Row was forever stored, the greenhouse had a pineapple which we shipped off, and we planted on down some more pineapple seeds here too. Delicious sounding pickled giant tube worm was forever stored away. We crafted up the glass fence and path, cooked up carrot ginger soup and Digger's Delight, and slept the day away. On day 5, we got the chocolate milk recipe, and Gabriel invited us to the Adventurers Guild, and our reward for the Buy on Balance was the farm computer recipe. The Wandering Trader provided us with an orange blossom and savory saffron crepe recipe. Deciding to stock up on milk for the fridge, we could cook parsnip soup, rice pudding, and ice cream before buying some saguaro and zebra cactus from Pierre, and then deciding to head onto Ginger Island with them, with also rice and taro seeds. On our way to Willy, we found our first yellow coral and ferngill scallop, before getting another section of the Ginger Island farm set up. We also decided to start forever storing the succulents mod here on the island, as we'll be growing it all out on this farm from now on. Neverill was shipped, which we had in storage for completion, Orange Blossom water was forever stored, and we slept. On day 6, Elliot had sent us the wasabi shrimp rice bowl recipe. We found a futon bear on the way to Robin's, and now Robin had finished the barn we asked to upgrade it. We chatted to Susan about our farms, foraged in the swamp for some new black mushrooms and peach parasols, and found Penny having a picnic with Vincent and Jazz. With the barn in Grampleton now down, it was time to start the Void Ranch. We bought 4 cows called Foxel, Charles, Empty, and Charles, meaning we already have collected all of the Void cow types. In the forest, we found Night Shadow, Bonbons, and Fire Snappers, shipped off any new items from today, gifted Emily, maxing out the friendship, meaning we can now propose to her, and we also added 2 qualities of black mushroom that we had found into forever storage before sleeping. Day 7 welcomed us with rain, with the Queen of Swords teaching us how to make fruit salad, and Emily asked us to join her in the woods tonight. The south part of the farm, which is often filled with random seeds, got us our first barley, celery, and dahlia, which we shipped off, and this was the day that we started resetting some of the world, now that Stardew Valley Expanded had just received a major update, which will give us new trees, crops, artifacts, and a whole lot more. We got our first fir cone, and the rains provided mushrooms. Our first Stardew Valley Expanded artifact was found and given straight to Gunther. We bought a mermaid pendant and gave it to Emily, meaning marriage number 2 is about to begin. The Lunatone grape from the grapes of Ferngill was found outside Sophia's, and the Hat Mouse provided us with the good old cap, lucky bow, cool cap, butterfly bow, mouse ears, delicate bow, and trophy clip. In the secret woods, we found our first coral tooth fungus. We turned that Lunatone into our grape starter, and we slept. Recipes greeted us in the mail on day 8, receiving the chocolate bar, fish dumpling, ramen, and stuffed persimmon. The first of our sunchoke was ready, 1 was shipped, and each quality was stored, and we filled up that empty space with autumn crops from Passerby Cemetery. A normal speckled void egg and gold speckled void feather could be forever stored, and the Monday sorting began. Earth Cleanser, Capricorn Lotion, Fire Cleanser, Water Cleanser, Air Cleanser, Dusk Lipstick, and Greed Blush were shipped and stored for completion, and Amber Cog and Junimo Figure were also shipped. 11 jams were stored, as well as pickled fairy fingers. 8 dried goods were stored away. Black tea was shipped. Everlasting giant lilac pansies and giant snowdrops were shipped, with all others created stored away forever, and we added sunflowers and summer spangles to be eventually preserved. A slime gem, birch sap, pine tar, oak resin, and maple syrup were stored. Normal silver and gold pike, the mutant carp, a silver bull trout, silver albacore, snail, periwinkle, lobster, white algae, green algae were all stored away, and into the crystal ball went all the Mount Vapius minerals. Into artifacts went the strange doll, dwarf scroll 2, prehistoric tool, prehistoric rib, and arrowhead, and we cooked up a fish dumpling, ramen, and almond bar, which ended the Monday sorting. At Pierre's, we bought some sweet potato seeds and the 2 gardenia saplings we didn't yet have, and decided to choose the aquatic overpopulation request to get completed this week. The saplings got planted down, wild cacao was picked up to ship, We fished a little to start the aquatic overpopulation request and then had a romantic night in the woods with Emily. On day 9 it was raining again and our salsify was ready. An iridium grenadier, iridium and gold sea spider got forever stored away from yesterday's fishing, and the salsify was shipped with one of each quality stored away. Sweet potatoes were planted and we gained 4 new honeys today: lavender, freesia, purple flame and dahlia. We headed to Mount Vapius to complete more bundles, accepting the Mount Vapius monster goals while here. And as it was market day, we bought some paper flowers, the rye bread recipe, sunroot seeds, iridium ore, passion rouge grapes, and an industrial pipe. The Earth Secrets bundle was finished for some bombs and a gem polisher, and from the treasure hunt bundle we got some artifact troves and our second gem, geode. We fished to further the aquatic overpopulation request, added sea spider roe to storage, and placed the gem polisher down we got in the shed to start working on new artisanal products before sleeping. On day 10 we married Emily, and Pam was asking for some Myriadan tea. The south of the farm provided us with our first purple cone flower, and all qualities could be stored away, as well as 4 being sent to be preserved eventually. The rain yesterday had left us with several mushrooms to gather: a ridge puff mushroom, stalk cluster and bleeding fairy, and at Robin's we asked for the shed to be upgraded, and Andy talked to us about how he was unsure of us when we arrived in the valley, but now we were good friends and he was proud of everything we had achieved. The town had a tooting funnel for us, and we expanded the Void Ranch with 2 goats called Jacko and Nida, as well as 2 sheep called Trelawney and Tangerine, 2 more animals to check off the list. The Void Ranch got an auto petter, speckled void mayonnaise was stored forever, and heading to the beach with a bait maker, we got the aquatic overpopulation quest completed before sleeping. Our socialization skill leveled up as we slept, and on day 11 we had a whole load of new crops to harvest. 1 of each quality of 4 corner potatoes, garnet sweet potatoes, hopnis, oysternut, ube, sweet granadilla, clematis and wild rice were stored away, with 1 of each shipped. 4 of the clematis were added to be preserved forever, and we bought a whole load of new seeds to fill in those empty spots. Flint broke a load of geodes and boxes for us, which got us the golden mask for the museum. We drank a monster musk and headed to the mine to work on vanquishing 70 slimes for the Mount Vapius quest, and we got the whole thing done by 9:40 that night. In celebration, we bought the mushroom berry rice and frog's leg recipe, got all the crops down that we had bought today, and slept. The raspberry tart recipe welcomed us on day 12. We harvested our first blue corn, shipped 1 off, and stored 1 of each quality away after upgrading the vegetable chest. The shed upgrade was done, meaning we can ramp up our artisanal good making, and at the wandering trade we picked up a book of foraging too, and from the bookseller picked up the quail and turkey recipe books for collection, and old slitherlegs and horse the book to read. Robin was put to work again on a coop for the Void Ranch. We got a fancy houseplant for turning in a ticket, crafted fairy dust for completion, made a chest for femurs as we've now decided to see how many we can get on this playthrough, and we were blessed to finally get the missing golden quality salmonberry we needed for storage before sleeping. On day 13 we gained 2 new honeys, geranium and purple coneflower. We bought wax agave from Pierre, and the Mount Vapius market day turned out to be very worthwhile as we ended up with 4 more sprinklers and an iridium bar. We also stocked up on a number of items we don't have yet in the form of 2 pride banners and shirts, 3 of Moira's confections clothes, and a VGA paradise from the wandering trader. Saturday was decided to be forage day at Ridgeside, and we collected the autumn drop berry, highland chard, highland butterwort, lava lily and summit snowbell. We saw a heartwarming cutscene between Blair and her mum. Maeve was discussing Jojo opening a building in Ridgeside, as well as telling us that she hoped we could live up to the valley's expectations. Faye and Bryle were seen arguing over at Pika's, and after all that we hired some help to save us some time every day petting the animals. Our final and beautiful husband June was at the hotel, so we swung by to say hello. We met Geo at the forest and took Carmen fishing outside Geo's house. Exploring here, we found the inked fossil, heading home to ship off all the new forage we had found today. The south of the farm finally got the 2 quality sprinklers it was missing, and now we just need to fill in the other side of the path. We finished off all of the iridium sprinklers in the greenhouse and we slept. On day 14, the Queen of Sauce taught us how to make blackberry cobbler. Abigail gave us the pierogies with vegetables recipe. Pumpkins, choco fruit, and dark tuff were harvested, shipped, and stored. 2 jack-o'-lanterns were crafted, 1 to store away and 1 to get the rotten plant later. Another pineapple had grown, so it was eaten to get the pineapple slice stored away. Visiting Gabriel, he revealed to us his past and how he had unfortunately caused his mother to die after he headed into the mines, ending up needing her help while he was there. But all of us came together to support him and tell him that it was not his fault, allowing his mother to finally rest in peace. We bought star cactus from Pierre and met John, who had just arrived to live in Passerby. The new cactus we had bought went down after harvesting the cactus, taro, and rice here, allowing us to ship off taro, barrel fruit, sea bean, and opuntia before getting all qualities of new cactus stored away. Broccoli was planted down in the empty spots, and we slept. On day 15, we received the watermelon caprice recipe, and Zinnia invited me on a mining trip. Barley and durum were ready, and it looks like the bonbon flowers have color variants if grown instead of found through forage. It was another Monday sorting, so we got 1 of each quality of buckle break stored away. A skeletal tail and ancient drum went into artifacts, as did a faience plate. Orpiment, thunder egg, Arianite, Ghost Crystal, Baryite, and Alamite were added to minerals. A normal Hertwigia, Gold and Silver Grandier, Gold and Silver Coffin Fish, and Silver Yellowhead Jawfish went into Unique Fish, with 25 fish being added into the fish chest from the base game and Stardew Valley Expanded. Everything from the Succulents and Cactus mod were added into the chest in Ginger Island. We spent time reorganizing the shed, moving all the machines that we could that weren't currently processing items. 7 dried fruits were stored, as were dried Bluebonnet and Gentian, before stocking up for the next set of goods to dry with apricots, hot pepper, currants, fern olive, lapis, jade, amber, bearberries, cantaloupe, raspberries, and dragon fruit. 11 flowers were ready from the drying rack and were replaced with dusk lily, marshmallow, sunflower, and bonbons. A dwarf helm, arrow, starfish, and chewing stick were added to be turned into amber. 12 more fish were set to pickle. Grapes were set to turn into grapeseed oil. Strawberry, pomegranate, peach, crystal fruit, hot pepper, cherry, and orange jellies were stored, as were pickled onions, lentils, cucumbers, basil, and cowpeas. Hazelnuts, orange, and walnuts were set to turn into butter, and so ended the Monday sorting. The South farming area provided us with our first zucchini and early sweet gemberries after a fairy had come to visit. We got our first void feather and watched our sheep do some dancing, and stored and shipped honey, hazelnut, walnut, and orange butters that had been made today. And in addition to this, we finally completed the raven feather collection. We also shipped and stored today hedge witch polish, ice queen polish, dawn lipstick, before cutting trees and sleeping. Day 16 was a kind of short day. Today was the Stardew Valley Fair, so after our daily animal duties, we headed on over. We set up our stall, and as Lewis checked it over, we set about getting tickets for today. We maxed out at 9,999 tickets, buying the Fedora and Prismatic Pop recipe. But after that, our luck changed and our tickets plummeted, so we resolved to buy the new furniture catalog next year, as we still weren't ready to start decorating our farmhouses yet. Silver quality hazelnut butter was stored away, and we slept. Our walking ability increased as we slept, and we chose the Seasoned Runner perk. And on day 17, we helped Marnie and Shane find Daisy, but it turned out that she had been playing with Boxy. Afterwards, we bought 2 void dinosaurs called Dirt Boy and Brianna, followed by 2 rabbits that we called Cole and Geo. We chose Robin's project to complete this week, and also popped in to ask her for a coop upgrade in Grampleton, quickly running back to Marnie for auto grabbers and heaters for the Void Ranch. Venturing into the new swamp now that Stardew Valley Expanded was updated, we were initially excited finding sludge and swamp flowers before fleeing for our life, as the monsters here are very overpowered. The reorganization of the shed was finally completed, and a little cooking before bed saw us make a chocolate cupcake, raspberry tart, and blueberry cobbler before we slept. On day 18, we have new pink clematis honey with rain supplying mushrooms. We dug up our first bardic root, and heading into the mines to meet Zanir, we came across the Haven of Color together, a hidden flower paradise nestled in the mountain. Zinnia told us that she wanted to dedicate her life to finding hidden places such as this, and afterwards we bought and read the Dwarvish Safety Manual. Found a load of crackle apples on the way back to the farm, harvested pineapples to finally have 1 of each quality to store away, as well as getting 1 of each quality of crackle apple stored away too. Into the processing shed went 3 juicers with 56 crops to start making fruit and vegetable juice before we slept. On day 19, the Passerby mod had updated, and it looks like the crops had errored, so I'm hoping this can be fixed before we start streaming in winter. Our first cotton was stored and shipped. The Wandering Trader provided us with a book of fishing. The rainy day gained us a maitake and woolly milk cap, and we sided with Robin about the perfect aesthetics of her newest creation. The deluxe coop was ordered from Robin, and we set up a chest for the void animal products, putting away our first normal void wool. We braved the swamp to hit that level 10 combat, finding our first swamp essence, ruby ring and supernatural goo before we fled. But at least now we finally hit level 10 and can unlock mastery. Heading home, we found a destroying angel and black elfin saddle before we slept and chose brute, our level 10 combat perk. Day 20 saw us invited again to the Ridgeside Gathering Festival, and the arid passerby crops had now died, so perhaps there's been a season change with these seeds. An iridium dinosaur egg, iridium void feather and silver butter went into forever storage, and off to the festival we went. Here they had the banana sapling from last year, so of course we bought it. We got the savage and emerald ring, as well as a prismatic shard, and then a vampire ring, iridium sprinkler and muscle remedy. We found Abigail in the graveyard where she'd been practicing her swordsmanship, revealing to us that she wanted to explore the mountain caves, and before bed we ventured into the mastery cave, investing in the rancher profession with the mastery expanded mod, as well as the shepherd profession to get wool quicker, claiming that farming mastery for the iridium scythe too. And afterwards, as we still had some points remaining, we chose the geologist profession and mining mastery before sleeping. Day 21 saw us learn how to make crab cakes, and our first tiger nuts, habaneros, peanuts and sweet potatoes were ready. The new crops were shipped with each quality being stored away. At the beach we found some anna seaweed and yet another void ghost pendant. We placed the coal needed to blow the mountain boulder at Clint's after breaking lots of geodes, and could get one more item into the museum. Before heading to Ginger Island we bought some jade cactus, digging up the cutest Junimo carving on the beach, planted down our banana sapling, harvested a whole load of repeat growing cactus and one-off cactus before planting on down the jade that we had just bought. All qualities of wax agave and star cactus got stored, and we fished here for a while to try and get some new fish, ending up with a Christmas tree worm, lunaloo, sea sponge, blue tang, baby lunaloo and barred knife jaw. Shane got a beer to get his friendship back up, and we started finding our first chestnuts while on the way home, storing one away forever. The star cactus and wax agave were set to be forever preserved before we slept. It was the final sorting Monday on day 22, and we started off with adding a load of ingredients into the fridge. So here is what we could cook after all of these new ingredients: orange juice, giardiniera, honey glazed carrots, daikon salad, napa coleslaw, pumpkin bread, winter plate, watermelon caprese, conkeys, tomato soup, salad, cheese cauliflower, fried calamari, glazed yams, hash browns, complete breakfast, trout soup, pink cake, fried eel, blueberry tart, Autumn's Bounty, pumpkin soup, miner's treat, pale broth, plum pudding, pumpkin pie, radish salad, fruit salad, and crab cakes. We had new honey in the form of pink hollyhock, and we moved the items from the 6 crops for winter that were in various chests into the one chest that was housing the entire mod. Crafting in the form of an iron fence, gold bar, sonobobber, weathered floor, magnet, skull brazier, small hardwood fence, and iron bar was done. We spawned in pine syrup as we had hit the collection goal for the pine spruce mod, grapeseed oil, an amber arrow, solar lipstick, Libra lotion, Venus lip gloss, Pretty Princess polish, Sweet Sorceress polish, Uranus lip gloss and Taurus lotion were shipped. 7 dried fruits were stored away, as well as 1 jam, 3 pickled vegetables, and 6 pickled fish. The amber helm, arrow, toothbrush, and star were stored forever, as was the grapeseed oil, and everlasting summer spangles and sunflowers were shipped, as well as stored alongside purple coneflowers, and the very busy Monday was done. In Cindersnap, we found a wood bluet and springcap mushroom before gifting the wizard a gold quality purple mushroom. The Void Rance expansion continued with 2 ducks called Max Frog, Dim Dim Duree after they joined the stream, and then it was time for chickens, with them getting called Omi Duck, Fallen Leaf, Cole, Walter, Just BR4, and Mika 22 Mika, meaning that there are only 2 void chickens we need now to get the entire chicken collection. In town, Philip was encouraging George to keep up with his therapy appointments. We stocked up on sweet potatoes and chose the cultured yogurt request this week. Gold void wool was stored away. We planted down the potatoes, stored away an ancient seed that one of our dinosaurs had found, and we slept. It was raining on day 23, and we harvested our first soy, shipping a large amount of it off and storing one of each quality away, as well as getting the deluxe barn for Grampleton started. We found an oyster and horse mushroom, picked up our upgraded watering can, shipped off our first void cloth, and the wizard said he might teach us magic at some point in the future, and we helped Luna fix up her home. The shed got a few new enchanted crystals and preserve jars, and our first flower presses, adding a good amount of flowers to start getting pressed in those machines. We then got 3 restoration tables to improve artifact quality set up after a comment from Ben Victim said that we should get these artifacts being preserved earlier rather than later, as it can take quite a lot of time, so thank you for the tip there. Cranberries were placed down as the 6th and final crop to go in the greenhouse, and we slept. It was a rainy day on day 24, and we got our first cosmos to ship off for completion, finding our first Scarlatina Bolette at the train station and Saffron Milkcap and Yellowfoot near the quarry. From Marlon we bought the next 2 versions of Grandpa's cane, got Silly a strawberry, and from Pierre we bought some blue candles, aloe and candelabra cactus. Ginger Island had new forage for us in the form of yellow mushrooms, fizzling berries and wishtera. The cactus was planted as well as harvested while we were there, and at home all the new items we found got shipped off. All qualities of blue and yellow coral were stored away, crafting up the Mega Bomb, and explosive ammo for the craftables collection before heading to bed. On day 25, Emily asked us to join her for a date, and all of our sweet gem berries were finally ready, and we even completed the dinosaur egg collection. As we have 2 small sweet gem berry mods, it means we could set one of them being turned into jam, and we set another 4 up being turned into wine. Another was added to turn into a polished gem, 2 rare discs were set up to turn into amber, and we asked Robin for another coop upgrade so we could get the final void coop animal that we were missing. We found our first cudgel in the trash, gave Silly their next strawberry, and saw Luna having a chat with Pierre about the delicious food he sells before we went for a walk around the town and hung out with her for the day. Pierre supplied us with some wine yeast as we need to start making it to get all the hundreds of wines that we can now make. Shane got a pumpkin he was requesting, and we met the Emperor for the first time in East Scarp. Eloise then gave us a tour of their animals, and Rosa and I went to then find Eloise after she had run off, leading us to a strange abandoned farm on the edge of town. Oliver had been requesting an artichoke. We found a party hat on the way to meet Lexi for the first time, and after we said hello, they were very happy to meet us, and I look forward to finding out their story. We joined Emily for our date and enjoyed watching the stars before we slept for the night. On day 26, we learned how to make a lentil bun. The wine yeast was set up to be self-replicating in the shed, and the amber disc could be shipped and stored. We had all the milk now for Marnie's yogurt request, but with the amount of modded milk we have, we couldn't fit it all in her fridge. So we'd have to come back tomorrow with a little more and hope we could finish it off. We sold to Pierre to get some extra cash, got a fancy new era item from the void animals, which myself and the chat thinks could be the void sheep trying to make void sheep milk, which shouldn't be possible to exist, but we stored it away anyway, as we do want to keep one of every item, even if it is broken. The cash we had made from Pierre was used to get 2 void pigs, and we called them Rock Collect and Barn, and we also bought the animal catalog to get it stored away before sleeping early these final few days of autumn. On day 27, we expanded the pineapple crops, and Rasmodius showed us some basic illusion magic. The Hat Mouse sold us a blue ribbon, chicken mask, polka bow, blue bonnet, and watermelon band before we finally got all the milk Marnie needed crammed into her fridge. We ventured to East Scarp for Spirit's Eve, digging up some amber for the museum on the way, and bought a spirit torch when we arrived there. But I didn't see much else to this festival, so let me know if I was missing something glaringly obvious, and again we slept. The final day of autumn was now here, and on day 28 we learned how to make fiddlehead risotto, and we could harvest a large amount of sweet potatoes. The flowers from this season for the new honey were harvested and shipped. 1 of each quality of sweet potato was stored. We bought wheat from Pierre to keep the crop spots over to the next season, gave Susan a blueberry tart for her birthday, and Silly their next strawberry. The wheat was planted down, we filled the silos, watched a train head on by, and the autumn drew to a close. It was another quick day. And with that, another season has gone, and I can't believe that we're almost beginning the final season of year 2. I think again it's been a good season of progress. Our shed processing has expanded greatly. We again expanded the amount of animals we had, and we only need 2 more void animals to get the complete void ranch set. Mount Vapius continues to get restored, and Ginger Island has expanded too. If you've made it this far, be sure to give the video a like and hang out with us in the streams if you can. We'd all love to see you there. And join my small little Discord if you want to hang out there and help it grow a little. I shall see you all oh so very soon in the first stream of winter. So until then, everyone, bye for now, take it easy, and I'll see you soon.